Hi guys, it is Tuesday, April 14th, and it is day 2 of prefixes. By now, you have already completed your warm-up, and you should remember that affixes are the building blocks of words. Roots are what everything builds off of, and that prefix attaches to the beginning of the root to give it a new meaning. Aim for today, Kipsters will be able to define and identify prefixes to understand words they read. Quick review of our prefixes for this week. Not going to spend as much time explaining as I did yesterday. If you want that longer explanation, go to KAC's YouTube channel, rewatch yesterday's, or go back to yesterday's form, start it. You don't have to resubmit it, but watch the video there as well. Abs, meaning from, away, or off, like a light switch. AC, AD, meaning to, toward, or near, like taking steps toward it. Anti, against, opposite of, like arrows going against. By, BIS, or DI, meaning to or twice. Circum, meaning around or about, like a circle or circumference. Com or con, meaning to come together or to concur, to all agree. People standing in a circle. DE, meaning reduce, away, down, or remove. So thinking like a trash can, throwing something away, you're removing it. DIS, DIF, DI, remember DI repeats, where it could also mean dissect, apart, away, or not, as well as that to meaning. DOIS, like dis, meaning abnormal or bad, dystopia, dysfunction, little weird monster guy. Epi, on, upon, over, at, epidemic, epicenter, epilogue, once upon a time, or little sheep going over a fence. EQUI, like equal or equally, equidistance, equation, so scales that are balanced. EX or E, meaning from or out of something. So excavate, if you're excavating, you're taking dirt out of some place so that you can build a house probably, or some other building. I put a keep out sign to remember that it has to do with things being out. Hyper and hypo, remember that these contradict each other. So hyper means too much, excessive, or beyond. Think of the paper going extra, extra, read all about it. Whereas hypo is less of something, it's under, it's below, like hypothermia, meaning a lower temperature, the dog underneath the table. Whereas if it was hyper, the dog would be on top of the table, meaning it's doing too much. In I am not, or in an I am meaning not, like impossible, incredulous, couldn't happen. And remember, inter and intra are other contradicting prefixes. So inter meaning between or among something, or an intra is inside of something, staying within the boundaries. So inter, it goes outside of the boundaries. Intra stays within it, if you think of it like a box. Today's example: which set of words all contain a prefix meaning under or below? So answer choice A is intrastate, intravenous, introvert. We have B, accelerate, accessible, admitted, accepted. We have C, hypothermia, hypoglycemia, hypothyroidism. And then D, antibiotics, antibodies, antiseptic, antisocial. So A, intrastate, intravenous, introvert. So intra, we know, stays within the boundaries of something. So it stays inside of something, or within it. So we can, they all have that intra or intro, but we can eliminate because it doesn't mean under or below. So A is incorrect. We have B, accelerate, accessible, admitted, accepted. So they all have that A, AC or AD, and sorry, I don't know, Siri interrupted the video. I didn't know if you could hear me. So they all have A, AC, AD, so meaning to or toward something. So we can eliminate because it doesn't mean under or below, although they all have a prefix in common. C, hypothermia, hypoglycemia, hypothyroidism. So they all have hypo, and hypo is one, hypo and hyper, those are the ones that contradict each other. So if you look back in your notes, And you go back to hyper and hypo. Hyper means too much or excessive, whereas hypo means under or below. So I'm leaning toward answer choice C since they all have that prefix in common and it means under or below. But let's just double check D. So antibiotics, antibodies, antiseptic, antisocial. They all have anti in common, not like auntie, but anti, against or opposite of, like the arrows that go against each other. So that means against or opposite of, but the question is asking us for the one that means under or below. So we can eliminate D, and the only one left is C. So make sure you select answer choice C on the example, since we just went over it and it is a required question, gets you an easy point. That being said, at this point, it's starting to look like a lot of these isn't just being able to dissect the word, but it is studying what these mean. These are all review between last year and this year, but it is something that you do have to practice to be able to remember. So again, I would set up that notebook if you haven't already. After this, you just have 5 practice affixed questions, and then reading skills, same text as yesterday, 2 questions, a part A and a part B. Pretty straightforward, all review. And then you have Lexia. Make sure that you're completing it all in one sitting, or that you're writing down your answers so that if you lose, like if you were to step away from your computer or your phone and take a break, you aren't losing your hard work. And then hit submit. Again, like I said yesterday, I know the form is new, but I really do think it is going to mitigate a lot of the problems that some of us are experiencing, especially because a lot of us are working only from a smartphone. Please reach out if you need help. But yeah, have a great day, guys.